Hi, Anti-Society! Welcome back to the Antisocial Planet, and today we are getting into the last episode of Spy Family for this part, and I'm really not sure what we're going to be getting into. From the little preview that we saw, it looks like we're going to be bringing together a bunch of different characters and maybe touching on multiple plot points. I don't know if we're going to get into anything with Donovan again, because that is how we ended off the first season, but we haven't really focused in on Damien in this part, let alone the rest of his family. So I'm not sure. I feel like this might be something that is focused more on the Forger family and the fact that they are becoming a family and acknowledging that they're becoming a family, as opposed to them saying, oh, this is just because we need a cover for other stuff in our life because we're covering up a lie and there's nothing more to it. We're seeing them growing more into the attachments that they have for each other. So maybe that is more of what we were focusing on, but really not sure. Not sure if this is going to go out with a more calm, ominous vibe or a bang. Really not sure, but let's get into this final episode. In 3, 2, 1, go. Ooh, are we having a recap? Being like, this is the whole conflict that we've been dealing with. So maybe we will get into Donovan. I mean, he's in this recap. Yes. Start a family. Yeah, she's scary. Like, Lloyd is good at being a spy, and he's, like, has his moments, but he doesn't scare me the way that Yor does. Sure. Is this gonna, I don't know, like, at what point are they gonna be like, are they gonna discover? Right? That's always been my, since like day one, it's like obviously at some point they're not going to be able to hide their identities from each other. But when? Will it be all at once, or will it be like a sneaking suspicion first? Like, there's been hints, so I'm like, I feel like it's gonna have to be all at once, because clearly the subtlety of little hints along the way isn't enough to key them into what's happening. Like, Lloyd's gonna need a little bit of a more like obvious in his face example of Yod being an assassin. Like, he's gonna need someone to like, he's gonna need someone to say it, and he's gonna need to witness it with his own eyes. And for Yod, it's gonna be even harder. I think it's gonna take even more for her to like really grasp that Lloyd is the spy. I think you could tell her, she could see it, and I feel like she would still be like, I'm gonna misinterpret this in some way. You know, I love them, but they can be a little bit oblivious to what's right in front of them sometimes. Anya, like, basically knows what's happening, so part of the family. Which family, though? Forger family, this weird garden thing that Yoda's connected to, Strix that Lloyd is attached to. I love that they have a dog. We have Bond. Oh? Anyone else go through an origami phase? I definitely did. I used to casually make them, and then my classmates would just like take them with my consent, but I would just like give them to people. Oh, he takes them to the dog park. That's so cute. There's a dog park. near where I live, and it's the best thing that's ever happened to me as someone who doesn't own a dog. I think this is intense. We're training. It's part of the training. I mean, Bond is a sweetie pie. So he does pick up that there's something going on. I mean, I know that he had the pressure of knowing that there are like government officials looking for him. Mm-hmm. They all have a tragic backstory. Poor Bond. It's true. Lloyd needs to like not be in spy mode. I talked about this in my other reactions. He needs something. He can't even walk his dog without it being part of the mission. They're not supposed to be stars. Okay, they are. I mean, at least she's still on mission. She's still on task. Don't eat off the ground. That's what you have your visions for? Are we gonna protect the ice cream or eat the ice cream? That's not how this is gonna go. But it's cute that he thinks so. He's gonna think that you're attacking the child. You did teach him to go after people. Oh, poor Bond. Of course, he got him 3. Lloyd's a big softie. Oh no. Are we going to seem like we attacked the old man? It might get Bond out of training, though, if Lloyd's like, he's become too aggressive. Or it's gonna cause more training. Yeah, because Anya actually knows, can see what he's trying to prevent. Oh, poor Bond. Just trying to be helpful. Uh-oh. Oh, right, the fire we saw in the preview. Oof, the voice acting on that. I felt that. Oof, that's a look. Should listen to him though. Did they? That wasn't in the vision. I wonder who what Daisy is. Is it another dog? A cat? You know, I'm like, I feel like it's probably not a person. That sounds like another dog. Ooh, good kick. Oh, sweet little puppy. But he's a big old softie, and he's like, fine, we have to save the puppy. You got this, Twilight. I mean, fire escape. That's what it's for, right? He is amazing. Praise him more. Oh. I mean, you are talking a lot for somebody who's like, we can't breathe well here. I like this team up. I hope that we get at some point where Lloyd just brings Bond with him on missions because I like the two of them together. Dramatic. Oh. Uh-oh. Oh. Oh. Stop, drop, and roll. Oh. Poor Bond. Just trying to be a hero. Are we gonna get a laugh from Lloyd? An actual show of amusement? What a breaking character. Uh-oh. Is it the person who started the fire? There was a rumor that it was arson, right? You wearing a fire hat? Come on, dude. Good boy. I mean, clearly not just a civilian. Ooh, deserved. Anyone pulls a blade on a dog, I would have a similar reaction. I'll fight you. Yes, give treats. Oh, I love the fond smile. I don't think he agrees. He is the bestest boy, though. That's true. In the moment, though, had to act. Gotta keep that in mind too, Lloyd. There are two someones. Just saying. Same thing that Yoda went through too, where she was like, I need to not get hurt because I have people to go home to. Oh. Softy. Oh. Like the breaking the fourth wall there. Oh. There's a huge amount of stuff after this closer though. I'm like, what are we getting into? It stresses me out. But it was really sweet. And like I was saying before, I'm like, I really want Lloyd to have a moment where he isn't Twilight. He isn't the spy. It isn't about the mission. And I feel like this episode had a bit of that. Like, not only did all of us not have to do with the mission, except like, I guess, training Bond, but he laughed. Like, he was so close. He was basically laughing. And like, we have never seen that kind of serious break in Lloyd's character, to just like, he's not acting for anyone. He just like was legitimately amused by what was happening. And that's so sweet. Like, he loves his dog. Like, the Bond is his dog, and that's so cute, and I love it so much. And him like saying like, oh, you're a member of this family, and I'm like, yeah, he is, we all know that. But like, the fact that Lloyd is like officially accepting Bond as like his dog and part of his family is just so sweet. I feel like crying. But the end here is gonna stress me out. Like, I feel like the sweet vibes are gonna go away, which I'm not ready for. And I'm gonna have to wait. Oh my goodness. I'm not ready. Ugh. Okay. Just hit me with whatever is. Did you? What were we trying to make? Oh. Is this gonna be a weapon? Oh. Well, that's kind of on brand. Mm-hmm. Is that why we got rid of the jacket? On elaborate scheme? Well, now Anya knows. Oh, we're gonna give him a Stella? We're gonna give him stars? This is so wholesome. You don't need to be judgmental. Take the cuteness. Oh, I'm the star in the sky. Costella. We're getting jazzy again. We're just checking in where everyone's at. Damien studying. Hopefully joining his friends. I was ready for this to stress me out, but we're kind of just casually going out of this part. Did some of yours cooking? Some more training. I love the heart in her eye. Did we get the power suit up and running again, or is this just a fantasy? Yeah. A daydream. About, I mean, maybe he's working on it. An updated version, maybe. Without setting yourself on fire. It's welding mask, okay? You gotta, like, have the right equipment. Oh, the family all together. Bond with his Stella. It's just like a little summary recap. Ugh. I need more. That was so wholesome. I was like so ready for this to stress me out. I'm so used to the end of parts or seasons being like a little bit more heightened, but I love that we just casually went out of this season, especially focusing more on Lloyd and Bond, because they didn't really have a focal point story for a lot of this. It was very Yod-centric for the vast majority of it, which I love. Our girl deserved it after a full first season where she didn't really get a whole lot of focus on her. And there's still lots of little threads there that I feel like we need to explore and fully flesh out about her story and the organization that she's attached to. But I love just getting this quieter little story of just like wholesomeness, and I really want to get to a point where Lloyd is taking Bond on his missions, like he's taking his dog with him and using that training so that he's a useful part of the mission. I would love that so much, a team up between those two as like a start of them teaming up. I want a full-on Forger family team up at some point, but I know it's going to probably be a while before that actually happens, so I will settle for more Lloyd and Bond going out on missions together, even though I know Bond is a little bit more timid, but he also will pull through when it comes down to it. Just a really wholesome end to all of this. And I think really important in this is seeing all of them acknowledge that they have people to go home to. And we had Yor struggling with that. She was hesitating in her fights because she was like, I can't take as many risks and get hurt because I have people I need to go home to. And she always had that with her brother, but it's different now that she has a closer family that's living with her, especially with Anya. Having a child that she needs to care for hits differently than having siblings and other family like that. But Lloyd has never had that. Lloyd has never had anyone around him besides other spies, colleagues that he's needed to come home to. And I feel like that's where a lot of his detachment comes from. Some of that is his training and his feeling of not wanting to get attached to people because he's always gone undercover, played his part, left, right? Every person he has made any kind of relationship or connection to in the past with missions, he has eventually left and never seen again. I see him deliberately detaching himself because he knows that at some point in his brain, when the mission's over, he will leave Yod and Anya and Bond, and that'll be the end of it, right? I don't think that's how this is really going to go down for him, but he is getting to that point where he's thinking about it, right? And he's saying that as Bond of, oh, you need to be careful because someone will be very upset if you don't come home. I think he's starting to feel that for himself, even though he hasn't quite admitted that. He hasn't consciously thought about it, but I feel like it's definitely there. There's a part of his brain that acknowledges that he has a family to go home to. He just hasn't gotten quite to that part where he's really deconstructing that and thinking about that in a critical way. So I'm very excited for what the next part of this season is going to be and other episodes coming up. I'm just so sad I'm gonna have to wait. I love this show so much, but I hope you enjoyed watching that along with me. You can click this place to go to my previous reactions, or you can subscribe so you miss next time I post a Spy Family reaction. I will see you in the next video. Bye.